All right, welcome back home.
There's no place like home.
To your parents' house. I'm welcoming you back. It's kind of ironic.
They took off this morning, so we're back in, our quote-unquote podcast studio.
Take Two Central.
Take Two Central. We've been at Northwood, and we've been at Northwood.
Yeah, I think we just did 2 long recording sessions at Northwood.
Yeah.
And that covered all the time. Yeah.
Man.
So this one will air in a couple days. Normally we record maybe quite a bit ahead of time. This one will hit pretty soon. In fact, it'll hit in between the 2 Matt Gilbert episodes.
Oh, yeah. Great.
So if you listen to the first one, great. Hopefully you found it's funny. That guy, he just we actually spliced in some of the talking because it was hard to get we're gonna go and talk because he would just start and this is good stuff.
We need this in the mic.
We need this in the mic. We need this on the podcast. But you probably noticed a few audio issues, and it was not for the lack of trying because if you go back.
Yep.
Go watch the YouTube a second time. Or if you haven't watched the YouTube once, if you only listen to a podcast, watch the YouTube. And you'll see me constantly looking because we checked our monitors. And I was like, okay, everything's looking good. And then when I went back and then that second half, there was a minute of audio and then it just was completely gone. And my mic was gone.
It was totally
gone. So apologize for that. I think the next, if we've been taking theology to the next level. If we take our AV equipment to the next level, we probably need to get just a little soundboard.
This is a theme in Michael's life. Just ask Charleston Bible Church. Just need to take the AV equipment up a notch, huh? Am I right?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we don't have the budget that the church has. So
that is a good point. Yeah.
But maybe a little soundboard and maybe update the camera. If we did those 2 things.
Oh, man.
I mean, call us Joe Rogan. You know what I'm saying?
We just take off. That is very, very good. And, speaking of technology issues, just troubleshot a little bit of some more different mic issues, but yeah.
Yeah, we updated the Rode software because it was dropping. Maybe, and then we had a little delay in the ears. And if you've ever been on a phone call and you hear your voice
it's a bad day.
Half a second later, it'll drive you crazy. So it was
can't do that.
We got to figure this out. So thankfully, Zach was patient while I worked through it. I don't know what I did. I turned something on and then turned it off, and then it worked.
Man.
So that was all good.
Love it. Yeah. I don't know what other news there is. School is soon. Is your family pumped for school?
Yeah. Yes. I think they're pumped for school.
Yeah.
Phoebe's ready to go to kindergarten.
Boom. Nice.
And we have registered for soccer.
Oh, yes.
Maybe that's complete separate banter. But it was we announced to our family yesterday evening about Phoebe playing soccer, and they're like, when is it? And they're like, the fall is coming up, and they're like, guess who's going to coach? And they're like, oh, Zach, and they're cheering, and Jill was like, who else? And they're like, Coach Gilbert? And they're like,
they say, nice.
Yeah. And then who else? And then Jill was like, who else? They're like, Jonathan White? And they're like, yeah. And Jill's like, who else? And they're like, Dad? And they're like, oh, so hopefully it's good.
It's great.
Were you copying on Steele's response?
I don't think so. I was. Yeah. He was like, I don't think it would be a problem.
Yeah. So the only concern would be is if there's not a lot of coaches and he takes all of us as being good enough to be independent coaches. Boy. It's I got to separate you. But I don't feel like I'm a good I can probably teach some defense. Hey, don't kick it into the middle right in front of your goalie.
Boom. That's great.
Kick it down the sideline or out.
Yeah.
Is better than in the middle. In the middle is danger. I can tell them that over and over again because from my experience watching kids at that level, that's something that needs to be told over and over again.
No, that's huge. Especially, I'll tell you what is brutal in this age group soccer: goal kicks, kicking it across the middle. It's just we never learn. It's really hard to kick it to the side. I mean, they don't have the power sometimes. Where that's just I told Jaden last year, you just wait. You watch that goal kick. That's like easy pickings for a goal, because that's really hard to
just sneak up on it when they kick it. Just take it and try to
exactly right. So that'll be fun. What I'm looking forward to is playing a team where maybe one of their coaches are sick, couldn't show up, and we just have 4 coaches on the sideline, and they have one. Like that's what I'm running.
That was one of the things that the daughters were talking about. They're like, "How many coaches do you need?" I'm like, "Hey, you got to have sideline control. You got to have."
It's great, and I'll be honest. Like with soccer, it's good. Yeah, you do have sideline control. Was lacking last time. I mean, it's like you need people. I would often walk over like behind the goal and be like, "Hey, goalie, like just position yourself right. This is new quarter, and there's a lot of ground to cover." So,
and Karis might want to help out. Oh well, I guess if Matt's there, he can do all the goalie coaching. Yeah.
Honestly, I think we need more coaches. I think we need to outnumber the players. That's what I'm hoping. Bring Chloe.
More coaches than the players.
One-on-one.
That's true.
We have like personal training sessions at our practices. It'll be good. And it worked out too that all of our kids aren't second grade because then I can, like you were saying in your email, like we're not stacking the deck,
Right. Yeah.
So this is good. I'm pumped. I'm like soccer. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but last year undefeated. Don't want to say that was because of me.
You're gonna jinx us.
Oh man, but we were just like,
but you
rolling.
had Eli and
we don't have Eli. Eli did not play last year.
Oh, he didn't.
He's playing this year, but he did not. But wait, Jaden.
But Eli will be too old.
He'll be too old. Yeah. Jaden was very good. He was second grade, so older. We had Ty, who he's got a cannon for a foot.
Ty, who played on our basketball team. Oh yeah.
And we had
guy.
I don't know if you know Ella. She's like a tall girl who's second grade. We had like 3 or 4 second graders, and I think we just Ty Brown. Yeah. We just so happened to have like the second graders that were very good. Like Ty has a cannon. Jaden's very fast. Ella definitely the best girl in second grade, just as good as the boys. Yeah. And then Simeon Gilbert's son was like hilarious because sometimes I was like, man, I wonder if he I don't think he's paying attention to practice, and then like goalie, it's so funny. Like it's like instinctual. He would like automatically go in the right places, just like had those habits. He played goalie probably half the time for us. We tried to get other people in there, but he would be like every game play at least a quarter, and he was really good. And that's a big part of in that age group. You got a bad goalie. Yeah, you like goes through. You want people to play, but anyway, sorry. I'm excited for this year. It'll be fun.
Yeah, that's good. All right. Well, we're going to be continuing.
You think Abraham played soccer?
Abraham, he probably played
some primitive form of soccer.
I was trying to think of some sport, but I couldn't come up with anything funny on the fly.
I mean, it's too bad he probably spoke some Semitic language because, ham. So many English puns he could have like ran with,
like hamming it up.
Yeah.
Abraham.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Oh man, there's a story.
Not the time.
It's fine. Okay. So there were 2 coaches, brothers.
Okay.
And I thought their last name was Ham.
Oh, but it wasn't.
It wasn't.
Oh, that's great.
And so I was dropping my kids off. I was like, hey, you see coach out there just hamming it up? And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, he's hamming it up. I'm like, what? I'm like, his last name's Ham. Like hamming it up. Like his last name is not Ham.
That's like great. Were you talking to him about this stuff? That'd be great. Be like, this Michael guy just really loves pork.
He was on the outside of the car, so thankfully it wasn't that awkward.
That's good. I love awkwardness. Talk about an awkward situation.
Yeah.
Abraham. Probably more than awkward. Had some missteps along the way.
He did, yeah. Great promises.
Great
faith.
Yeah.
And then what are you doing, bro? So,
bro,
that's what they probably said to him, bro.
Probably it's these things like go in and out of style. It probably was like in style that many years, 2,000 years ago. So anyway, I'm excited to keep on this conversation on Abraham. Let's go ahead and take it to the next level. From the heart of the Low Country in South Carolina,
it's the Take 2 podcast, where we take theology to the next level. Last time, we talked about who is Abraham.
Yeah.
And we talked about, which is it?
A lot of Urs.
The southern one or the northern one? Probably the southern one.
Yeah.
Even if someone added of the Chaldeans later just to distinguish which one it was.
Makes sense.
Came up with his father who died. Terah died at Haran.
That's right.
I think Haran was Terah's father's name, so they must have named it after them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Probably went up that Euphrates River, kind of going, north and west.
Yeah, because you got to have water. So
got to have water, H2O.
And you know what? I'm probably getting ahead of ourselves, but I did a lot of research today on Abraham.
Man.
kind of the next level behind, not just the story that you might get. And it has I've never put two and two together that when the servant went back to get Isaac a wife.
Yeah.
And then when Jacob went back and worked and got Leah and Rachel.
Same.
I always imagined that as going down to Ur of Chaldeans, but it was back to Haran.
So you're kind of going up.
So they're kind of going up into that Mesopotamian area.
This is why this podcast is good, and I'm talking to myself. It's like getting that geography right. In college, I had it. There was like some electives, and part of me was like, man, I should have taken the Bible geography elective, and I didn't. But that's helpful because it's like in your mind, what are we doing? Yeah.
So that was always when. So I was just looking up these place names. I was like, oh. So that's where they are currently, and I think that's where they are at the opening of Genesis 12, which is we're going to get, and we're going to have an episode on the Abrahamic covenant. So we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on these verses, but this is the start of the Abrahamic covenant. And if you're a student of the Bible, it's given like in 12, and then in 15, and then in like 17 or 18 again, and then so it's kind of repeated and expounded on as we go through. But maybe, Zach, if you want to read just those first, I think it's like 3 verses that kind of give you the covenant.
Let's do it. Verse 1 of chapter 12. Now the Lord said to Abram, go forth from your country and from your relatives and from your father's house to the land which I will show you. And I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great, and so you shall be a blessing. And I will bless those who bless you, and the one who curses you I will curse. And in you, all the families of the earth will be blessed. What a great promise. I like just the blessings abound, and all the families of the earth will be blessed. That's great. That's a good promise.
It's the Goyim are in there too. Not just the Jews. All right, so this is how we know we're still in Haran, because of these next verses. And I can't tell you how many times I've read this. And I don't know about how your mind just skips over some of these details. Like, you should, because I'm already thinking he's already there, because it kind of traces it a little bit back, kind of gives you a summary at the end of chapter 11. But then in this one, it says, so Abram went forth as the Lord had spoken to him. And you're wondering, was 11 kind of like a summary? Sorry, I'm interrupting myself.
Yes,
and now 12 is kind of going back and saying, all right, this is what the Lord said to Abram, and this is why he left.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of telling us back what happened in 11. But it says, and Abram went forth as the Lord had spoken to him, and Lot with him. Now Abram was 75 years old when he departed from Haran. So he's just now leaving Haran.
It's crazy. Yeah.
75. So like he's
Pastor
way
Joel.
older than us.
Yeah.
And heading out.
It's like Pastor Joel saying, hey, time to pack up and go.
That's crazy. Abram took Sarai his wife and Lot his nephew and all their possessions which they had accumulated and the persons which they had acquired in Haran, and they set out for the land of Canaan. Thus they came to the land of Canaan. Abram passed through the land as far as the site of Shechem to the oak of Moreh. Now the Canaanite was then in the land. The Lord appeared to Abram and said, to your descendants I will give this land. So he built an altar there to the Lord who had appeared to him. Then he proceeded from there to the mountain on the east of Bethel and pitched his tent with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. And there he built an altar to the Lord and called upon the name of the Lord. Abram journeyed on, continuing toward the Negev. So a lot of details there about geography, but basically if you're envisioning a map, and maybe we can put a map up there.
There you go.
We said we were going to put a map in the last Abraham one, and then I produced it without hearing that, because that's normally my trigger to go, we said we're going to put a map up, so maybe we'll do better and put a map up. I put a map in my folder, so hopefully I'll see it.
There you go.
Start editing it. But he's coming down, like if this is the Sea of Galilee and the Jordan. From what I understand, he's coming around over here, and then he's coming back down to where present-day Jerusalem would be. Gotcha. And I say down because it's south, but probably
he's
going up
That's funny.
in elevation, because you'll see that a lot. Anything else you notice here?
No, I love it. 75, we mentioned it last time, called upon the name of the Lord. This is good. I think that does help. I love like oaks were very like prominent. You always like, and especially in this like Abraham story, you hear a lot about the oak of Mamre. You have these oaks that were like the kind of, I guess, visuals. This is a
there's
big
not
deal.
A lot of those kind of trees.
It's
over
like
there.
you probably see it's like, oh, this is angel oak. It's like something that's very prominent. But anyway, I think we got it.
The other thing I noticed is way back in the beginning, verse 1, it says, "Go forth from your country and from your relatives and from your father's house." So I wonder how many people went there, knowing that he sent people back for wives. So there may be a lot here, because I initially thought,
but not Lot.
But
there
not
might
Lot.
be a lot back, but not Lot.
Yeah. So he took Lot with him, and initially I thought, well, maybe he's slightly disobeying by taking Lot with him. But if there's a whole bunch, and maybe Lot kind of fell under his care because I think Lot's father has passed away. So
yeah.
So
Man, Lot. I feel like he's just like always just kind of like thrown in there. It's like just not, and his name. Let's be honest. It's just like so like just a lot. He didn't get a good name.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to know. Like, what would that have sounded like in their language? Yeah. All right. So we see in this passage we read, this kind of first covenantal promise, and we're going to go through that more. But you do notice that there's land, nation, and blessing there. And you see, like we said, 75-year-old Abram trucking out. He's going to obey.
That's amazing. I mean, it'd be tough to say, 30, 40 something, 50 something person. You've got like your whole life you've established somewhere. 75, man. You've like really, probably are not wanting to say, hey, let's go everywhere.
He's going to live to around 120. Is that right? I know Moses lives to 120. I think in Abraham is about that same time. So it's not like he's got like 20 or 30 years.
Right, yeah.
40 years maybe. And we talked about this last time. Terah died in Haran, and you wonder, did Terah like go as far as he could and then died?
Yeah.
And then they kind of hung out there, and he's got to say, we just don't have all those details, but it does ask, perks up questions.
Man, and then, we had some reference in there to Canaan. Talked about the Canaanite people. They were in the land at that time. It'd be interesting to know, if you keep on reading in the Bible, you get all the different people groups in there, that we're also familiar with. But it'd be interesting to know as he's kind of, how many people are with Abram and who's he encountering? Like, how's that going? Be like, hey, here's my altar here. I'm calling on the name of the Lord.
Yeah. We do know that, you can think like, oh, this is like a present day nation where the density is kind of uniform, but we know they're like city states.
Yeah.
So you wonder how many of those city states were there.
How many there were, and it's like, once you go through 2 or 3, I feel like word starts to spread. AI's like, or people are like, hey, have you seen this Abram guy? He's been, saying these things, and I don't know, you kind of get this maybe groundswell.
Yeah. And then did it say how many? Was it 75? Did it say how many? No, just as well. I think we'll get that in the next one.
We'll get it.
All right.
Nice.
So then in verse 10, we're told there's a famine.
Man.
And so I think probably my take on geography could be wrong. He's about halfway between Haran and Egypt, right?
Oh yeah, you would. I mean, I don't know why I said oh yeah so confidently. It seems like that's very reasonable. Yeah. Based on
and maybe Haran is slightly further away. So you think there's a famine. Yeah. You don't have any food. What do I do? Maybe he thinks if I go back to Haran, that's just like ultimate disobedience. Like,
yeah, I'm literally turning back.
Yeah. So maybe he's like, I'll just keep going further down south.
Yeah. Maybe he was just in denial, or he wanted to go to denial.
Yeah. And I also read that, like 200 or 300 years before Abram came into this area, Egypt had like this huge control over this area, and the city-states would have had to pay tribute to Egypt and stuff.
Man, yeah.
And then Egypt's central power collapses, and they have a bunch of minor rulers, kind of have regional rulers after that. And so because their central power dies down, they don't really have the power to exert over
they can't.
Canaan. And so now these people have more
free reign.
And
before maybe they were under some oppression, and now it's kind of like, hey, the empire's not where it was.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. I'll pick up in verse 10. I'll read this paragraph.
Yeah.
Okay. Now there was a famine in the land, so Abram went down to Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was severe in the land. It came about when he came near to Egypt, and he said to Sarai, his wife, "See now, I know that you are a beautiful woman. When the Egyptians see you, they will say, 'This is his wife,' and they will kill me, but they'll let you live. Please say that you're my sister, so that it may go well with me because of you, and that I may live on account of you." It came about when Abram came into Egypt, the Egyptians saw that the woman was very beautiful. Pharaoh's officials saw her and praised her to Pharaoh, and the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house. Therefore, he treated Abram well for her sake, and gave him sheep and oxen and donkeys and male and female servants and female donkeys and camels. But the Lord struck Pharaoh in his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abram's wife. Then Pharaoh called Abram and said, "What is this that you've done to me? Why didn't you tell me that she was your wife? Why did you say she's my sister, so that I took her for my wife? Now then, here's your wife, take her and go." Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him, and they escorted him away with his wife and all that belonged to him. So what a story. It's kind of hard to put yourself in this position just with cultures being so different and the fears in traveling because, lots going on.
Yeah, I was trying to see, are we told how old Sarai is? I think she's maybe just a few years younger than him.
Maybe, I don't know, yeah.
But, so let's say 65.
Sure.
Year old,
beautiful.
maybe.
Yeah.
And she's so beautiful, Abraham is
concerned. I've never thought about that, yeah, because you're right. It's presumably obviously she's got to be like outside childbearing age, like 20 years from now or whatever. So at some level, because everyone's saying, it's not just Abram's like, "Oh, honey, you're beautiful," and then Egypt's like, no. It's like, yeah, everyone's saying that.
And he didn't. Did he lie?
Yeah, right. That's like the class. It's like a half truth. Like technically,
Yeah. So apparently they have the same father but different mothers. Is that right?
I think that's exactly it. So it's like, you could see how you might justify it in his mind and say, okay, we're not telling a total lie. It's like true. Right. We'll just like omit really important part of this.
Yeah. And it's also weird because we just got through the covenant, and God is saying, "I'm going to bless all the nations through your descendants." Yeah. And now he's like, "Here, take Sarah as your wife, Pharaoh." And it's like, what's going to happen to your descendants, Abram?
So interesting. And you have to think like, man, isn't it good in scripture that these things are like juxtaposed right there, because it kind of aligns with maybe our experiences in different ways,
It's how God has kept them in there. So I guess some questions for you, Zach, the all-knowing Zach. Did Abram sin by going to
Egypt in the first place?
Yeah. Was he demonstrating a lack of trust?
That's a good question. I think on one level that everyone says, hey, you read about Egypt in scripture, it represents sin like all the time, right? As like a global reason. So the option would be, hey, there's a famine. You just trust God and stay in Canaan. That's the alternative, basically.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Or maybe go out to the Mediterranean Sea. Yeah. Maybe Philistines are there. I don't know. It's hard to know who's there. Yeah. I would think that you might find more food closer to the Mediterranean. I don't know.
Yeah, right. I mean, my gut would say the way everything is framed, not a great thing. Probably should have done it, but I don't know that's explicit.
Yeah. He's maybe 3 or 4 days south of Galilee, so you may be thinking, go fish in the Galilee.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right.
It's hard to know if this was just like, hey, let's just go where everyone else is going. Everyone else is going down to Egypt. Let's go down to Egypt and get food. We just don't have that context. But I think the odds-on favorite are probably he's demonstrating a lack of faith.
It's bad news, and I wonder, like, you're making your way down, you're passing through different like people groups, Bedouins, whatever. And they're just like, bro, you're going to Egypt. Pharaoh is gonna take your, like, I don't know, like he's just thinking about this, like, oh man, this is not good. Like he's getting warned, like, just so you know, this is not gonna be great. Because then, I mean, he clearly does not tell the full truth.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. She's my half sister, but we are married.
Right.
The other thing is, in a couple chapters, and this will be our next episode. So
great. Yeah.
Little teaser.
Yeah.
We're going to see Abram get his army of men.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And pursue these people and rescue Lot. And I'm like,
pretty powerful.
Maybe it was, the only, So there's this other juxtaposition of Abraham being so fearful that he's going to give up Sarai. But
then on the other hand, he's like chasing down these kings.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot to ponder. I don't know if I've ever like thought about all of that together. But that's really good. Man, and he goes with, just say you're my sister. Like, were there any other? I mean, maybe he picked that specifically because it was a half truth. Were there any other cards he could have said?
Yeah. Well, and this is one of the things I wanted to look up. 12:5 says all of his people went down with him, right?
Oh,
Over into from Haran. So let's see, and it came about in Egypt. Yeah, I guess it doesn't say who all went with him down to Egypt. It could it have been just him and his? Let's see.
I mean, maybe he's going there to get food to. I mean, bring. I don't know. Yeah.
We just we see Moses. We just need to say, hey, give us a little more details next time.
Hey, would it hurt you to write an extra book in there?
Yeah.
We got the Pentateuch. Let's make it, one more.
Whatever the sextatute. Yeah. All right. So, anything else on this section on Abraham?
No, I think, we see plagues happen instantly.
Yeah.
Pharaoh's not loving this. Sarai's protected, even though Abraham's not protecting her. And Pharaoh's not loving it. I mean, Pharaoh's the one who recognizes, like, hey, I don't want to get on the bad side here, of what's going on.
That is interesting. And it's also interesting if Abraham openly worshipped Yahweh there. Mm-hmm. If there would have been something in Pharaoh's mind like, hey, I know you're from this land. I don't want to, make trouble with your God type of thing. Try to get in their mind. Trying to understand what they would do. You were kind of getting some of the takeaways there. One of them is God's sovereign plan.
Yeah.
He's made this promise, and it's like immediately, whether it's Abram or Satan or something that's trying to test God's promise, it's like it looks like it's in jeopardy, and God's like, no. We're not going to let this happen.
And this is not the first time you see this in Scripture. It seems like, you see this kind of thing where it's like, man, it's so hard to demonstrate that faith where you always just, tell yourself a lie or don't believe it. Something else looks better, and you kind of go the wrong way, do the wrong thing, even in spite of God's goodness He's given to us.
Yep. All right. So that is this section in Genesis. We do have some tie-ins from other scriptures. We do see Hebrews 11:8, faith chapter, is going to mention Abram's faith in spite of these things, these shortcomings. By faith, Abraham was, when he was called, he had obeyed, going out to a place which he was to receive for an inheritance, and he went out not knowing where he was going. By faith, he lived as an alien in the land of promise, as in a foreign land, dwelling in tents with Isaac and Jacob, fellow heirs of the same promise, for he was looking for a city which has foundations, whose architect and builder is God. Kind of a classic passage on it, Abram.
Yeah, so good. I like this one you have here with Psalm 105 because it fits in nicely here. I'll go ahead and read verses 13 through 15. And they wandered about from nation to nation, from one kingdom to another people. He permitted no man to oppress them, and he reproved kings for their sakes. Do not touch my anointed ones, and do my prophets no harm. So thinking about, maybe generic in one sense, but clearly relating to the patriarchs, like, in the wilderness going these different ways and how, God protected them.
All right, and our last New Testament reference, Galatians 3:6-9, says, even so, Abraham believed God, and it was reckoned to him as righteousness. It's also quoted in Romans. Therefore, be sure that it is those who are of faith who are sons of Abraham. The scripture, foreseeing that God would justify the Gentiles by faith, preached the gospel beforehand to Abraham, saying, all the nations will be blessed in you. So then those who are of the faith are blessed with Abraham, the believer. So kind of tying back to this covenant that we're going to look more closely at.
That's right.
In a future podcast.
And to keep teasing the next one, next episode is one of those like crazy stories. I'm looking forward to kind of talking about that more because it's like kings you don't recognize and places and tar pits and it's crazy. It's all this insane stuff.
And we might mention the word Nephilim in that episode. Yeah.
I said this in a comment. I feel like if you look in the mirror and say Nephilim 3 times, clay thrower appears. He just looks like Bloody Mary, but Nephilim style.
That's right. We'll probably get a comment on this one. I heard Nephilim, so that'll be good. This will be a test.
That's right.
See how far he makes it into the podcast.
We're watching you. I'm waiting for you.
All right. Anything else on this episode?
No, I think we're good.
All right. That's our take.
Thanks for listening to Take 2. Find us wherever you find podcasts and on YouTube for those who want to watch our videocast.